Hello, this is Terry speaking. And I know I didn't think anybody would be interested in my videos. I really kind of wanted to do a small channel about the things I'm passionate about. And as I said, that is homelessness, and it is the elderly. And well, there's other things, too, that I care about, but, I mean, I love animals. I just wanted to tell you. I have 2 cats. They're my babies, because I'm single. And, anyways, the homelessness thing, I want to tell you a story about that. I hope nobody gets saddened by this. If you feel that way, maybe you should leave the video. But my brother, whom I love very dearly and miss him terribly, he was such a smart boy, really. He was a smart boy. He went to school for hair, and he was really great at it. And some of the best salons in Boston took him in, and we were so proud of that because it was in the newspaper and everything. And there came a time when my brother was found at a mall, naked. He really wasn't coherent at all. They took him to a hospital. Me and my sister immediately got there. And to look at this figure in the bed, and to look at this boy who I just loved, and it was awful. And finally, I guess, the decision came that they couldn't really do any more there at that particular hospital, and wanted to transfer him to Leahy Clinic in Boston. And so they did that. And me and my sister got there. She lived in another state, and I live in a different state. But we got there, and we stayed in some motel, and we were there so many hours a day. And one of his friends came, and who was very close to him in school. My sister and brother went to school together because my brother stayed back in his early years, so they kind of had a lot of the same friends. And so she knew how to do Reiki on somebody, to relax them and all that kind of stuff. And she did that. And he didn't wake up, but she kept doing it. And one day he woke up. And that was like the greatest gift of all, because we knew it was a very slim chance of him living. And he stayed there for quite some time in that hospital, and they kept telling him that his liver was gone. He could never drink again. And, told him about... My brother did not hard drugs from the street. My brother did, which probably isn't much of a difference, but prescription meds, he did a lot of those. Where he got them, I don't know, but when you're homeless and you live on the road, I guess you can come across anything. So they told him that, and he went to live with my sister for a while in another state. And I heard he was doing good and everything, and then eventually my sister had kicked him out because I guess he was cooking stuff and burning stuff, and my sister was very concerned about her home, and she had animals and everything, and of course she didn't want anything to happen in her home. So, okay, he ended up, in Massachusetts somewhere, and homeless and this and that, and then he wanted to come back to Nantucket. Nantucket is a place where we were born and raised, and it was a beautiful little island, small island, 7 by 14, and back in those days, Nantucket, people were, because it was an island, very nosy, and but also very caring and could come together at a drop of a hat for something. And that part I remember well. I don't live there anymore either, because things have changed drastically. But he came back to Nantucket, and we hung out together and all this stuff. I didn't really, maybe I did know, but didn't want to address it, but I didn't really know my brother was drinking a lot. But from what I hear clearly from my sister is that my brother started at a young age drinking, and that's why in the hospital they told him to let his liver, regain strength again and not to drink. But my brother didn't listen. In fact, the weirdest thing is he said that he would never live past the age of 40. And he died at 39. In the meantime, I took my brother into my home, and he lived in my extra bedroom, and he was doing good. He was working hard, and I never asked for anything. I didn't want anything from him. He was my brother. And I came home one day, and he was having an argument with my sister on the phone. And he took the phone and he threw it across the parking lot. And he started saying stuff to me about my sister. I didn't particularly know at the time what was true and what wasn't, really. Because my sister and I had a falling out at a different time. And I still loved her dearly. And so he's telling me that, whatever he's telling me, and I'm not sure to believe it or not, because I really don't know her side. I only know his. So time went on, and he worked, and one night he came out, and I should have stopped it then, but one night he came out of the room and he says to me, "You want some vodka?" And I said, what? Because really, I haven't been, I wasn't, I had a time when I drank, but then I didn't drink very often. Maybe I drank now and then. Now I do not drink at all. It's not an interest to me. Alcohol does run in my family very deeply, on my father's side, and also on my stepfather's side. My mother drank, but she really wasn't an alcoholic or anything. But one night I came home. I worked so many hours on Nantucket because you kind of have to afford to live there. So I worked during the day until 2 o'clock doing CNA work. And I came home and grabbed my shower and got ready for my hospital job. I was a secretary up at the nurse's station. And then, so that it was 3 different jobs because I would clean also on my days off from the others. So that's how I held a lot of my sanity, is by work, because it didn't exactly take away the worrying part, but it just helped to keep me sane. But anyways, I came home one particular night, and I noticed my door was open. I had another door, a winterized door, but my normal door was open, and I thought that was very weird because I don't live like that. My doors are closed. Not that Nantucket was rough or anything, but still, that's what I was a believer in. And so all these lights are on in my house, and I didn't get it because I'm very, my brother knew that I was very conservative, and, because I was paying for everything, my rent, my bills, everything. And so I walked in the door, and I smelled the stuff from the oven. And immediately I went inside the oven, and there was all this food that was cooking. And then I saw the microwave flashing, and there was food in there too. And so I'm going, excuse me, but what the hell is going on there? And I just didn't get it. And then my counter had stuff all over it, plates and bowls full of stuff. I just didn't get it. So immediately after that, I went into my bathroom, and I don't know what made me think to go in there and not get my brother first, but I went in there. And I noticed the medication that I take, because I take medication for depression, and I noticed my bottle was all topsy-turvy on the floor, and I'm lifting up the bottle, and there's nothing in it. And I saw some other things were missing too from the bathroom, but I really can't remember what actual prescriptions they were. And because I had anxiety also at the time. I don't now. I do, but I control it without medication. I felt anger, and I felt hurt because somebody violated me, is the way that I felt. But then on the other hand, I kept saying he's my brother, And so I went to my bedroom after that. And I noticed all these things were out of my closet. My brother, mind you, in his right mind, would never invade somebody's space, never go into their bedroom or anything. And I saw all these coin things that at the time, my husband, who I was married to, he was a big coin collector, and he had books and books and books of them. And he was so proud of them, and he had them in a little, like a lockbox, an easy lockbox that you could pick and get into. But anyway, he had the key to it, and they were all over the place. And then I saw these empty ones on the floor, and there was no coins in them anymore. So at that particular time, my husband had come in the door, and he had been to a AA meeting. Oh, by the way, my husband was a bad alcoholic for years and years. Sweetest man you could ever meet when he was sober, but different man altogether when he was drinking. But he had just had his 1-year celebration, and he was really proud of, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but he was so proud of the fact of being in AA and being completely sober. He drank a lot of Pepsi, and he liked his sweets after the fact. But anyways, I was yelling and telling him all the stuff that had occurred and what I walked into and everything. He's looking at all this stuff, and we both knew by looking at one another that, of course, it only was one person. Nobody would come in and do that. And I don't know why it was the last place I went to was my brother's bedroom. I don't know why. I guess I just needed to check out things at first, because when you walk in and you know that your home is disarrayed or it's different to you, and you need to investigate those things. Well, I felt I needed to investigate those things first. And so I was concerned about my depression medication. I had a very hard time trying to get a refill because I didn't want to tell my doctor that my brother stole it, and but I had to suffer some days without it, and there is a difference. There is. And so I lost a lot of people in my life, and that's exactly why I was diagnosed as major depression. And so after that fact, I bombarded into my brother's room, and he was laying on this mattress that he had. Well, I looked, and there was all kinds of nips of alcohol. There was everything that I don't even want to describe. And I said, how can my brother do this to me? Because, well, that was my feelings at the time. It's different now, because I had given him 3 chances, and I told him this last time was his last chance. And so I shook him, and I did everything to wake him. And he woke up, but he was a slurry mess. He didn't really know what was going on. I said all this stuff to him, and I screamed, yes I did, and I yelled, and I said, you need to get out of my home. I cannot have you here anymore. It's too dangerous, and it's too risky, and I love you. I'll always love you, but I can't deal. So he went somewhere to someone's house, and I found out a few days later that he was okay, whatever. So he texts me and he says, Terry, I would really love to go to Cape Cod, and I would really very much like you to give me some money just to get there. I said, okay, how you going? Oh, I'm going by the boat and whatever, and bus, and I said, okay. So I had wired him that money and probably an extra 20 or 30, for food and stuff. Well, he went over there. He never particularly told me he was homeless. I didn't know, because at that particular time he had said that he was starting to go to these, resource places that they have, and that really help you out a lot, and shelter for the night, but you had to be out at a certain time and all that. And so I thought he was still continued on that, but obviously I found out that he wasn't. He probably messed up and they couldn't, take him in or something, because when the urgency is that strong for any type of drug, I guess you do anything. And I had to learn a lot about it because it was my brother who chose that life. So, okay, he would text me different times, and I would say, that I'm coming over there because Nantucket it only had like grocery stores and stuff like that, not like McDonald's or any of that. It was a small island, and it didn't have like Walmarts and Kmart's and places like that. So it was like a treat for Nantucket people to get off and go there and do their clothes shopping and go to BJ's and get their food and stock up on stuff, to make it cheaper for them. And so that's what we had done for years. And so I would meet my brother over there, and he'd meet me at the boat, and I'd take him for breakfast. And he'd say, Tia, I really need a hat, I really need gloves, it's getting cold now. And so I went and purchased these things instead of giving the money. It took me all that time to learn. And I let him pick out what he wanted for clothes and different stuff like that. So he was happy as a camper that day, having a bag of stuff that he now could change into and be fresh. And I knew after that he really didn't have a place to stay, but there was nothing I could do. I beat myself up for a long time, and so did my sister, because we wanted him in our homes, of course, but we just couldn't have him in that condition, doing the things he was doing and destroying his life around us, which we didn't want to see. So I had gone away one day in the winter, and I was coming back, and I got a phone call that actually it was a detective that said my brother was gone, and I saw him cried on the boat because it was a ferry and it hadn't gotten to Nantucket yet. And so I just was devastated, and then I got home and I had to call my sister to tell her because I guess he knew enough not to ever contact my sister because my sister had said you need to get your life organized and in order and get yourself in good shape, and I will help you. I'll back you. I'll do whatever. But he didn't, and he really wasn't bothering with her that much, so I had to be the one to tell her. And then some of my stepdad's kids came over and, started saying they heard the news already. That's how quick things are on an island, that he was gone. And I have the article. It was in a newspaper article. In fact, it was in several newspaper articles. And it showed the picture of this small tent in the middle of February. Cold, snow on the ground. Prescription medication surrounding him and alcohol. I was destroyed. I still am destroyed inside. That a beautiful human being could go from Earth. I always believed that life has beauty, and even though sometimes you get down, about it, but we had to, cremated my brother, and he always wanted to be buried back where he was born, but what he wanted was his ashes to blow across the water. We went to this wonderful beach where he used to go. And there were so many people there. And I couldn't believe the wonderful things they were saying about my brother, because he truly was a different individual when he was sober. He was 39 when he passed, and that is my story of homelessness, because not that I haven't been homeless myself, but that is my story of my brother and experiencing homelessness and no one to really care, and a tent in the freezing month of February. It just devastated me, and devastated my sister too, and so I became very, very interested in homeless channels. I needed to get some sort of, answer. I don't know really what it was. But I started watching Invisible, and then I just went to Lost in Phoenix, and these different ones that really showed people out in the open, living that type of life, and people walking past them like they were nothing. And it was heartbreaking to me, so heartbreaking. I don't believe anybody in this world should be homeless. I don't. I mean, I understand that the situation's more clearer now, that you just can't pop a person that is strongly on drugs and stuff without being in a first initial place or rehabbing them or something beforehand. But I grew to be more clearer about a lot of stuff, and the things I was reading as comments under them and were very cruel sometimes, and I just didn't understand it, my heart, I guess, and I just thought they were the cruelest, and I would say, but that's a human being. That's somebody's daughter, or that's somebody's son, or that's somebody's grandson, or, how can you do that, and walk by them and just start in, oh, you're nothing but a junkie or something. So I grew more since my brother passed in 2014. So it's been 10 years that I've been very much into homelessness, and I can't always donate or something because I'm on a fixed income myself, but I'm always sending prayers to them and wanting them to fight if they end up in the hospital or something, fight to live, and that is my whole thing about my brother. I lost my husband the same year, but that's another story for another time. I'm sorry I got emotional in this, but homelessness is very strong in my heart. And I hope you enjoy this, and anybody who would like to reach out, please feel free. I'm new at this. I don't really know what to say or what to do, but I thought that this would be a perfect thing, since my first video said I was very much into homelessness and the elderly clientele. So I thought I would start with this, and just my talking, just my view on things, but yeah, hit me up. I enjoy doing this, though. I think it helped me too, talking about it, and because I miss that kid so much. Anyways, I hope everyone has a good day, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.